Today I'll be opening up Big Lob. This is another character that is being released by the Super7 company in their Reaction Plus line. It is a G.I. Joe figure. It is licensed by Hasbro. It is just not quite the main line here, but it is in the full style of the regular O-ring figures, a 3 3/4. The visual style of the character is just a little bit more cartoony than some of the other figures in my collection, but I don't think not to the point where it distracts or that it looks out of place. And the card is almost a dead ringer for what you would have received back in the day. If you didn't have the logo on here, it would look like any other Hasbro figure you've ever seen. So big fan of that. I'm going to flip it over. We have all the other characters who are available in that line and the file card. The card itself has been mangled a bit by the shipping company, so I'm not going to point fingers, but I will just say this is kind of what you get when your shipping company is named after a giant river. What can you say? Let's go ahead and open this up now. Getting some difficulty popping this thing out here. Okay, here he goes. Okay. The sole accessory is this rifle here. Well, and there is also another accessory already on him. This little, what was this? Little sash here that is, has some pouches and a grenade. That is pretty darn cool. Back in the day, this would have been the first thing to come off of the figure because kids love to take stuff apart. I have no need to ever take that off, or at least not in the near future. It can stay right where it is as long as it's going to be on there. It would be pretty tough to get it off there. Not impossible, but you'd have to stretch it a bit. And if it's going to be on there and secure, I'm happy to leave it right where it is. There's no stand included with this figure, which is just fine for me. Paint job seems to be very, very good. Nice clean lines there. A lot of detail on the eyebrows. Yeah, this is a figure, it's sold toward the collector market these days, but honestly, this is a figure that is just as well made as the ones I had when I was a kid. You could play with this. It would be just fine. Yep. And I'm going to pull this out. This is a vintage figure. And this is a 3 3/4 scale figure. And I'm going to say the word scale because here's a standard 3 3/4 figure. You're going to notice Big Lob is just a bit bigger. And that's not an accident. That doesn't mean he's out of scale. He's just an extremely tall character. He's a reservist, so he is spending his days just doing his thing, and then every once in a while he gets called in. And I think that was really cool to have a character who fit that description. And most characters are exactly the same height, but this guy, his height is part of his character, so it's distinctive. And they made that show up in the figure, so I think that is pretty darn cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy up close.